Hello everyone, welcome back to Trails in the Sky. So last episode we defeated Lawrence and his friends, the Jaeger. So we got invited to the castle because we won the final. So yeah. Anyway, let's go check her out. We need to find what's his name? What's her name? The head maid. Yeah. Anyway, let's walk around here. Mary Claus. Ah, Joshua, Estelle, you made it. It's been quite a while. It's Dean Collins. You were invited to the banquet as well, sir? I just arrived today via airship from Rouen. A little mayoral birdie told me you two won the tournament. Jill and everyone else will be so happy to hear it. Thank you. I had no idea we'd be seeing you here, Dean Collins. Dean Collins is a member of the Royal Assembly and a man of great respect and liberal. Really? It's only fitting he be given a seat at this banquet. A man of great respect, he says. You flatter me, Mayor. What's the Royal Assembly? It's a meeting held once per year to address matters affecting the kingdom. The Queen, mayors of every city and other representative all come together to try solving various problems of state. Wow, sounds big. So all those guys have been invited here tonight too? No, I say only about half. Her Majesty is still ill and General Morgan is away on official military business. And Mayor Dalmore of Rouen was arrested in that nasty affair. And Professor Russell. He is a bit too entrenched in too many unknowns right now. We don't know how true all this talk of the Royal Guardsmen being involved in some underground terrorist organization. It's hardly the time to be holding a feast at all, if you ask me. Well, we can use this chance to see where Duke Dunant stands on all of these issues. We need his permission to have an audience with Her Majesty regardless. Yes, that's the biggest issue here, without a doubt. Barring us from seeing Her Majesty is the height of idiocy of mismanagement. I would like to pay my respects to Princess Claudia as well, but it's the same story. Princess Claudia, the Queen's granddaughter, right? Does she live here in the castle? No, it's my understanding her actual residence is elsewhere. But I'm told she's come to the capital as a few days ago. She's here then? I really love to meet her. I'm sure you'll have a chance. I think Dean Collins knows who she is. I mean, she goes to the same school. Yes. That's her. Who else is in here? Nobody. Oh, Zane is here. Oh, hey. Maybell, Mayor Maybell, and Lila, Joshua, Estelle. Here at last. I kept wondering when you get here. I was practically counting the seconds. So you were invited here too, Mayor? Hey, wait, you were waiting for us? How did you know we were coming? I heard from Mayor Claus. I heard about a pair of children who entered the tournament, won its championship, and were invited to a grand royal banquet in the castle. If I'd known, I would have canceled my appointments and come to cheer you on. Begging your pardon, ma'am, but that would have been quite impossible given the circumstances. Yes, I'm aware. I'm trying to be polite. Don't worry, I know how busy you must be. I'm sure the Queen has no time to waste at a banquet. With everything else going on, what is Duke Dunant thinking? That captain was so stubborn about inviting me too. I had no real choice but to accept. Do you mean Captain Almatia? Yeah, that's her. Her words were polite enough, but she gave me an evil eye while she spoke them. I dare not refuse her request. I haven't heard from General Morgan in quite some time. Wait, does that mean you haven't heard any word from the Hacken Gate? The General is unavailable. It is the longest message I've been able to wring from them. It would seem he's busy with these anti-terrorist countermeasures or what have you. I had hoped he'd be in attendance at this banquet tonight, but I guess he couldn't pull himself away. What do you think about all of this, Mayor? Putting mayors from every city in the same place at a time like this? Well, if the Queen were to be in attendance, I would expect some announcement of no small importance. But as it is, this feels like the Duke has too much time on his greasy, chubby hands. See, she gets it. I love you. He's letting this position of royal proxy go to his head. That sounds about right. But there might still be some kind of official announcement, don't you think? Well, whatever may come of the night, the Grand Chef is the best in all of the kingdom. I plan to enjoy the dinner, pay my respects to Her Majesty, and return to Bose post haste. Oh, cool. My mistress has been looking forward to seeing you again. Please come visit her in Bose again sometime soon. Oh, we will, in the second game. What are those people at the okay, whatever, I don't care. Alright. No? No, hey. Estelle, Joshua, Mr. Murdoch, I thought you might be here. With mayoral-classed individuals on the guest list, we had a feeling you might also be in attendance. I must say, I never expected you two to win a tournament championship and end up hobnobbing in Gransla Castle. Cassie's kids to the bone you are. Hey, it took more than our upbringing to get here. Lots of people helped along the way. So, it's been a few days. Have there been any developments? Well, right after you left for the capital, Captain Amalthea from the intelligence division came knocking. She forced me to come to this banquet, but I kept my mouth shut about Leyston Fortress. Professor Russell and company are still on the run, too. Army hasn't found him yet. Okay. But the longer we keep this up, the less chance they have. It's really only a matter of time. I asked Captain Amalthea if I could see Her Majesty and wish her well, but no luck. I was flat out refused. So in other words, we definitely aren't gonna be able to do this the easy way. We sure aren't, but don't you worry, because we totally got that covered. We will get the professor's message to Her Majesty one way or another. Oh no! This is the Garden Terrace! Where's... fuck. Whatever. Oh wow, check that out. This must be the castle's garden terrace. I say so. You can see the whole lake from here and it overlooks the town. Must be great for reconnaissance. As nice as this is, we really don't have the time to stop and enjoy it. We got a job to do. Yeah, still not done talking to the mayors yet. Alright, I guess we're done. I think this is the part where, yeah, Estelle and Joshua. Okay, that was bad. Oh, this must be the royal keep. Who are you? Hey, you two. We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives? Of course it is. But for the last few days she hasn't been feeling so well. She's not seeing anyone right now. Oh, you got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were even to take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep here as well? No, it's just... Hey. The princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you. May I inquire as to what's going on in here? Hey, madam. We didn't know you were back already. The dinner party will be starting soon, so I will be returning to the maid quarters. Middle-aged woman. And who are our guests? They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a Bracer's social standing would ever be invited here. Hey, fuck you, man. Bracer's social standing. Such discourtesy. You would insult those who were personally invited to the royal castle? No, that's not what... Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that. Understood. Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is. But madam, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasons that the Colonel laid out. Yes, I'm quite tired of hearing them repeat it to me. I am terribly sorry, sir and madam. Security has been heightened, and as such, the royal keep and its surrounding are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine, we'll do as you ask. I apologize. We weren't trying to cause you any trouble. Fine then, just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you! I apologize that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I am the head maid of Grancel Castle, and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. Aha! We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well, someone told us about you. Oh, I noticed handwriting. You see? We also have our bracer emblems and identification with us. I see. Please come with me to take to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. Oh, I remember this. What's gonna happen now? I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct? Right. If now is not a good time, we can try later. But no, it's not an issue. But those special ops men have had the royal keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in. Which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the professor message to Her Majesty. No, I'd really rather speak to her face to face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we really need to discuss directly, like what Duke Dunan and Colonel Richards are after. Estelle and Joshua, I have a bit of an idea. Could I get you to return here once the dinner party is over? Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the dinner party? Awesome! Understood, we'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in your room. This is the intelligence? Okay. Fuck you. Alright, let's go back to our room. Let me go and save. Cool. Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know. Sorry, we got so caught up in sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all the mayors. Well, aren't we all connected? We're close friends with the mayor of Roland. Plus, we've met the other mayors in the course of our travels. I see. I guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two sure get around for junior bracers. you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Grancel? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right? Yeah, right. For full-fledged bracers, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duties, too, which isn't so bad. Normally, that would be enough to handle most cases, I imagine. But with all of them concentrated in Grancel, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions. Yeah, could be. I feel like a goose would just walk over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Sarah back in Roland. Now that name rings a bell. You wouldn't happen to be talking about Sarazard, would you? You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages. Oh, okay, makes sense then. I met her a long time ago when a case brought her to Calvert. She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age. Her master? Yeah, probably Dad. Please pardon me, the table for the dinner parties has been set. May I show you the way? Sure, I was getting bored and with waiting anyway, how? Alright, wanna go and eat fancy? Sure, that fight left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. Joshua, I'm surrounded with pigs. This is dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates then? Plenty of knives and forks though. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with a horse devours. I think that's, I don't know, man. Then you use the knife and forks from the outside in, and that's all part of having a good table manners. And here it comes the anxiety attack. It's really not so bad, as it does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attended. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from East usually eat with chopsticks. Oh yeah, you've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in when in liberal, do as the liberalians do policy. I am not especially skilled with them, but I will use knife and fork. I mean, how hard can it be? You use knife to cut, you use fork to grab the food. It's easier than fucking chopsticks. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much as a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion. Haha, you flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's more being polite than a leech. Than lechon, though. Anyway, his grace is really late. I wonder what he's up to. Indeed. So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for? Indeed. Perhaps it is intended for our Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. Presenting His Grace the Duke. Of course, Richard. Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, commanding officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. You gotta be kidding, we're having dinner with ham? I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving. Hahaha, excellent. What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Gransel Castle, Master Chef? Is his cooking on par with that found in Bose Anteros restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. You are not the first to say such thing. And what of you, Zin? Isn't it the food? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good. I'm glad to hear it. And you, young bracers, I imagine you never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's extremely delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Hahaha, indeed, it is a genuine treat. It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before during the Rouen incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir, maybe so. So he forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him. Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Your Grace, if we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first. Ah, yes, that's a fine idea. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I guess that I use this celebration as the place to make an important announcement. An announcement? And what might I be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Ah, that's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in with her? Check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In the light of that, the Queen's birthday celebration will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely this is not all you wish to tell us. Right, if that were all you could have just sent along as a message. Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over the royal authority to her nephew, Duke Junan. Oh, what? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, the conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only unnatural that she has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, and all without a husband, might I add. Given that I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following this festival's successful conclusion, as the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any sign in any of my annual visits. Sorry, I can't talk today. Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this is all seems to stretch credulity. Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Grace at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then? Well, the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stave off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Grace. Well, yes, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Arbonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebrations. But you thought it would be best to inform us first so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct? I'm glad to see that we have an understanding. If this has all come to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and well, we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of the succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age. And I must say, I agree with her wisdom in this matter. Wait, what the fuck happened? Hang on. Never mind. I should hardly like to impose such responsibility upon a girl so young. Yes, yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my. I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate. More tax money, right? I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question? Zin? I don't mind, speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you want outsiders hearing, particularly if a foreigner. So how come you're making this as an announcement now? That is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are on just as good of terms as the story says. That is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we'll learn here to the guild then. Man, I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I mean, I'm a foreigner after all, so it's not that big of a deal for me, but I bet that was huge news for you guys though. Of course it was. I can't believe things have gone this far already. Huh? Never mind. But really, what a shame. That food was so amazing and it practically melted in the mouth. Couldn't tell what that last flavor was though. Understandable enough. But anyway, did you want to go for a walk to work off some of that rich food, Estelle? Huh? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I could go for a little bit of fresh air. You just played tours a little while ago. And now you want to take an after-dinner walk? I sure don't get it, but must be a local thing. I think you're exaggerating a little bit. You haven't gone out to take in the sights? There is a lot of historic architecture around here, you know. If the mood hits me, I may still give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some food left over. You gotta be kidding, you're still hungry? If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt up a bar or something in a little bit. Wow, you really are a bear. Things have gotten so serious. We really have to find a way to get in to see Her Majesty. First things first, we go talk to the head maid, Hilda, like we promised. She probably knows a way for us to speak directly to the Queen. Fine by me. Okay, where's Hilda again? Oh, it's you. What? Colonel Richard. Haha. Estelle and Joshua, this is our first opportunity to truly speak face to face, I believe. The last time we saw one another was right after Mayor Dollamore was arrested, wasn't it? I'm honestly surprised that you remember us. I realized that we exchanged a few words, but you made a quite impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius. How'd you find that out? I mean, he's in the military, of course. Please understand, I'm not trying to show off the intelligence division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time together in the army. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time now. Huh? Pardon me, Colonel. Don't you have a meeting with His Grace? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah, yes. If we're going to talk, why don't we use the lounge inside? I'll mix you up a couple of virgin cocktails. I'll prepare them, sir. No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Grace and inform him that I'll be delayed. Yes, sir. Pardon me then. What's so angry, girl? Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please follow me. Joshua, what should we do? I don't see where we have much choice but to follow him. We'll be a little late, but we can talk to the head mate later. Yeah, this episode is gonna be pretty much talking. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from the military academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command, and since that time I have found myself in his debt again and again, both personally and professionally. Oh, he did. And what did you think of him at the time? To put it simply, he was a hero, and a master swordsman to boot. No matter the scenario, he could find a way to handle any number of battlefronts in every direction. It wasn't just a matter of sheer tactics. He understood and could direct high-level strategy as well. Quite simply, he was a man without peer. If I didn't know better, I'd say we were talking about two different people. So you were with our father during the 100 Days War? Yes, he was my CEO. That's a chief officer, right? Yeah. Even now, I can still vividly remember the excitement that filled me as we executed his plan that turned the war's tide. Anytime I get to talking about those days, time just runs away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Broy had not been part of the Royal Army, Liberal would now be part of the Erebonian Empire. No way. That's kinda hard to believe. Well, as a hero, he had a knack for doing unbelievable things. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen, so few know of his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as the prime example of what a hero should be. Wow. He never said one word about any of this to me. Well, it's not really the kind of things you tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that. Hey, whose side are you on? And besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about all of this or something? Well, I didn't know that he was a Colonel Richard Superior's officer. The rest I knew about vaguely. Vaguely? You're an accomplice. Hey, calm down. It's not like he told me of any of it. I just figured a lot of it out. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell the others about. I just don't get it. When he comes back, he is so in trouble. Please excuse us, we didn't mean to interrupt. No. Seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him. But it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself, after all. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you all was all that could help him recover. Colonel Richard. Now then, I thank you for taking the time to come here. I really can't keep the Duke waiting. I'm afraid you have to excuse me. Oh, alright. I don't know why I'm having trouble reading this shit now. Our apologies for making you late. Not at all. You both have told me the one thing I wanted the most to know. And thus, I have no regrets. Huh? How's that again? I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then, to share in the stories. Okay, who was that man and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about now? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem all that villainous anyway. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. For now, we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hate to say it, but I think that he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of it. He's an intelligence officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is as easy as could be. Don't you think that's going a little too far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instinct and believe whatever you think is right. Huh? But just make sure you're prepared for anything. Don't let your guard down. I say Bracer's job is pretty much that, in fact. Okay, I got it. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you? What the heck are you thanking me for? Anyway, we need to go back and see Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us. Yeah, she should be in the maid quarters. Let me go and save. Alright, cool. Let's go to the maid quarters. Wait, hang on. Would you like an after dinner drink? We can make anything you like on or off the menu. What? You don't offer me a drink? What is wrong with you? Which one is the maid quarters? No, seriously, I don't know where the maid quarters are. Ah, there we go. Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you. You're awfully late, aren't you? Sorry about that. We kinda got caught by Colonel Richard. Did you know? He had some things to tell us about our dad. I don't think he has any idea what we're up to, though. I see. Ah, yes. That letter of introduction did mention that you were Mr. Cassius' children. I can understand at least some of how Colonel Richard feels. Oh, do you know about our dad too? He used to come here when he worked as General Morgan's aide-de-camp. I'm told that he was a school friend of the late Prince, Her Majesty's son. Late Prince? Princess Claudia's father. Yes, he was killed 15 years ago in a tragic shipwreck. Would Dad he were still alive today, none of this would be happening. Huh. But lamenting what might have been is fool's errands. Evening is fast approaching. We must make our preparations at once. Come on in, Shia. Oh, hey, aren't you? Shia, right? Yes, thank you for remembering. You look well, Estelle, Joshua. I've been told you of your current predicament. You won't find a more dependable child. She's a great help to us whenever the princess is in the castle. Princess Claudia, that shouldn't pose a problem. Thank you. If you're ready, you should go change into your uniforms. The ribbons and the headpiece are tricky, so I'll adjust them for you. What? What do you mean? Estelle's going to need to dress as one of the maids in order to get into the royal keep. A little playing with the hair and you'll blend right in. Oh, I get it. Uniforms don't allow for much in the way of a personalization. That should be ideal for sneaking in. Huh, me in maid's outfit. I've been waiting to try one on since we first met Lila. Cute, breezy, and easy to move in. Huh, well, if our uniforms weren't easy to move in, they make the cleaning much more difficult. I thought so. Well, let's get this sucker on me. Why so excited? I'm glad you're in high spirits, but you need to remember your manners in front of the queen. You won't have me to lean on this time. Why not? You're changing too, aren't you? Pardon? I mean, he did play the princess during the play at the campus festival. Is there really that much of a difference between the fancy dress and a maid outfit? That's different. It was a play. I can't appear before Her Majesty in women's clothes. Oh, you'll be fine. It's not at all shameful or anything. Besides, you made such a gorgeous princess. Not this again. Cut the jokes, will ya? Hilda, Shia, help me out here. Say something. Huh. Huh. Anyone? I see. That shouldn't pose a problem. Shia, don't you have that extra hairpiece designed for the princess? Yes, it's never been used though. He has that full dark hair, so it would probably look good on him. Hey, hold on a sec. Yeah, well, it looks like 3-2-1 vote. Majority rules. This way, please. We can use this as a changing room. Wait a minute. I don't remember ever agreeing to changing. Alright. If I have to change, I can do it myself. Shia, you're not planning on using makeup too, are you? Kids these days. I know. I'm old, I'm hurt, and I work with fucking children. Oh my. Ta-da! What do you think? I think it suits her very well. Such a bright, active maid in training. And after only just coming to the castle too. You certainly have me convinced. And with the hair down like that, no one will be any the wiser. Perhaps you like to work at Grancel Castle for real when this is all settled? Well, we already work as bracers, so... anyway. Come on, Joshua. Get out here. No chance I can talk you out of this. Not at all. You're just making this take longer. Fine. You're impossible sometimes. Oh my god, Joshua. If I didn't know, I would still hit it. Well, it's almost frightening how good that looks. Isn't it awesome? It looks better on him than it does on me, and I'm an actual girl. A bit of makeup can make all of the difference in the world. Please, just say you're done. Well, I suppose so. I'll show you the way to the royal keep. You need to make certain you watch me and learn how a maid handles herself. Yes, ma'am. We're finally gonna meet the queen in person. Yes, this is the do or die moment. We just have to stay focused and get to the royal keep. It's hard to take you seriously in that outfit. Please excuse me. This was your idea. I can't believe you got the nerve to pick on. Sorry, don't get all mad. I'll treat you to some ice cream later, okay? I'm not like you. I'm not obsessed with food. Hey, I'm not obsessed with food. They get along so well, don't they? We're out of time. Let's go to the royal keep. Is it this one? Right. We have to go through the garden terrace. Hilda! What business do you have with Her Majesty at this hour? I'm bringing some tea and spoons at her request. The current situation means that Her Majesty is denied the right to even go about her daily life as she wishes, after all. Such harsh words. Well, who are these maids with you? I don't recognize them. His Grace ordered me to hire on some additional staff to help. They've only just arrived at the castle today. It's really now? Hey, you're pretty cute. Thank you. Not you. Huh? Why do I get the feeling we met before? Crap. Do you stare so hard at every young lady you see? I do hope you're not thinking any untoward thoughts. I rather think that His Grace and the Colonel would disapprove. Hey, it's not like that. We're the elite of the Royal Army. We wouldn't do that. Yeah, sure. All's well then. Now, will you please allow us to pass? Pardon us, ladies. Please go ahead. Phew, that was intense. Thanks, Hilda. You're a real lifesaver. Yeah, that was really well done. Oh my god, Joshua. The way you're looking at you're... Oh my god, I can't believe it. You're so beautiful. I'm just glad I could help. Now then, are you planning to change your clothes before going to see Her Majesty? If you prefer, I can just show you the way now. I think I'm okay as boy clothes now. Oh, for the love of... Why are you always so self-conscious? What was wrong with that? With what you had on? It's not an issue of self-consciousness. By the way, Hilda, is this room what I think it is? Yes, it is Princess Claudia's bedroom. But she rarely sleeps in the castle, so the room is all but unused. Huh, no kidding. But I heard that the princess was tending to the queen. I guess that's just gossip then. You have to ask Her Majesty for the full details. Her room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'll take you there. No pictures or anything, huh? I guess they didn't want to like show who the Princess Claudia is until later. It'd be a major shock. I mean, not really. Let me go and save. Let's go. I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I brought the two I spoke of before. This is Joshua and Estelle. Thank you kindly. By all means, enter, as you wish. I'll wait for you here. You two go in. Right, pardon us. Oh. I bid you welcome. My name is Alicia von Ausles. I am the 26th monarch of the nation of Liberal. Wow. I'm Estelle Bright. I'm a junior bracer of the Bracer Guild. And I'm Joshua Bright of the same affiliation. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Estelle and Joshua, I have truly been looking forward to meeting you both. I regret that I cannot offer you proper hospitality, but I have prepared some tea. Please have some, relax. I see, so Professor Russell asked you to bring this information. A pitch-black orbment capable of negating all other orbital energies. And you say that the Colonel has acquired it? The professor told us that you might have some idea of what he intends to do with it, Your Majesty. Can you tell us anything? I have but a vague idea, but I did not think that the Colonel even knew of it. Perhaps I am worrying about nothing, but even so, excuse me, but what is this vague idea you have? I suppose there is no harm in telling you. Roughly 10 years ago, a massive orbital reaction was detected beneath Gransel. Professor Russell was the individual who came to investigate. Did this happen in the vicinity of the sewers? No, far deeper underground than that, in fact. Professor Russell was under the impression that it might be a relic of the ancients that still function. Wow! So it was a bona fide artifact then. Most artifacts I know of have lost their function, like the mechanism of on top of the towers. But every now and again, you find one that still functions, like Mayor Dalmore's family heirloom. And something like that is beneath Gransel? So what does that tell us about the gospel? Maybe it could be used to halt the artifact's function. Could it do that? Yes. However, we were unable to establish the nature of the artifact, or indeed why it was buried beneath the city. It is beyond my imaginings how the Colonel could know of its existence. Professor Russell's research on it was kept strictly confidential and off the record. I see. In any event, it seems likely that trouble is on the way. Honestly, just as I start to think maybe the Colonel might be a slightly nicer guy than we were giving him credit for. But when someone's trying to stir up some trouble, that's when us bracers come in. We won't let him get away with whatever evil scheme he's trying to pull off. I expect no less from Cassius' daughter. Huh? You're acquainted with our father, Your Majesty? He was a friend of my late son's and a great savior to the nation. Even after he retired from the army, he would sometimes undertake requests for me. Really? I didn't know that. I imagine that there are a great many things about him that you don't know about, including the precise role he played in the war 10 years ago. I assume you have not been told? Well, nothing super detailed. Perhaps then that is the role that I am meant to play. Estelle and Joshua, will you indulge me by listening to an old story? Oh yes, absolutely. It is no indulge, Your Majesty. 10 years ago, in the spring, a tragedy occurred in the southern reaches of the Erebonian Empire. Its cause is yet unknown, so that is something I must admit. The Empire used that event as a pretext for their invasion of Liberal. So began the sad times that would become known as the 100 Days War. Just as the Empire makes its declaration of war, a massive military force breached the Hacken Gate. In what seemed like scant moments, all of Liberal became occupied territory save for Gransel. It is said that the invasion force was 3 times the size of the entire Royal Army. The reinforcements from Calvert were too late to stop their advance. It was but a matter of time before Gransel too would fall. But 2 months after the outbreak of hostilities, the war changed its way in a way that none could have imagined. The patrol airships had just been developed and were used to recapture Liberals' checkpoints, severing the Imperial Army's communications. The Royal Army then set about recapturing the major regions one by one, using ships launched from Leiston Fortress, Zeiss, Rouen, Bose, and Roland. With their supply lines severed, the Erebonian forces occupying each region were swiftly crushed. And the one behind this plan was, for a counteroffensive, was none other than Colonel Cassius Bright. Yep. So he's like the combine of Shu, Silverbergs, Lucretia, and into one hero. A powerful, well, I guess you could say Luca Blight, Gazelle. Yeah, I like that. It was your father who was General Morgan's right-hand man at the time, as well as Colonel Richard's superior officer. Afterward, with the intercession of the Bracer Guild and the Septian Church, the war was brought to an end. But it was at this time that Cassius lost what he treasured most in all the world, his wife. Yep. Lena, your mother, Estelle. That clock tower was destroyed in the Imperial Army's vain attempts to hold back the counteroffensive. What followed, I'm sure you know. Cassius was not even able to be by his wife's side in her final moments. No, I had no idea, and he believed that the military operation that he himself had planned effectively caused her death. Blaming himself, he left the military and took up the path of the Bracer, all to stay with the only one he had left, you. And this time, he swore he would be able to protect those he loved. Dad, that idiot! It wasn't his fault that Mom died. How could he even think that? Estelle. Yes, you are correct. Given that all he lost was in service to his country, the responsibility falls upon me. So I am sorry, Estelle. I failed to protect your mom. I have wished to apologize to you for a long time. But you don't need to apologize. You protected the peace of this country ever since the war ended. The peace that Dad and all the other soldiers who defended Liberal in the war fought so hard to protect. And the peace that Mom gave her life for so I could live in it. You have nothing to be sorry for. Estelle, you have a kind heart and I'm grateful. It gladdens my heart to have finally met you in person. Now, more than ever, Your Majesty. However, that is why I do not wish you to put yourself in danger. I would like for you to remove yourself from any dealings with this matter. What? But Lieutenant Schwartz asked us to help you. I thank you I'm grateful for your willingness to do so. But if some tragedy were to befall you in Cassius' absence, I know of no apology that could ever suffice. I ask only that you go back to your home in Roland and wait for your father to return. But if I may, Your Majesty, the peace that Dad restored and that you protect, though it has held firm now, trembles like a leaf in the breeze. Joshua, if the Colonel is able to use the gospel for whatever purpose he intends, and if he succeeds in making the Duke the new king of Liberal, then what will become of that peace? I ask only that you consider that. Your Majesty, right. Right when we became junior bracers, we inherited a whole lot of work from Dad. After the Sky Bandit incident, we got that letter and a package, and we've been running all around Gratian ever since. It feels to us like our dads have been nudging us in the back this whole time. That's why I want to defend peace, so that everyone we met and everyone we care about can go on living secure and happy lives. Just like you, and just like Mom and Dad, I'm doing this because it's what I believe is right. I really want to see it through. Estelle, it seems she was right about you, huh? I too am ready. I would like for the two of you to carry my request to the Bracer Guild. Your Majesty, my liege, we will do whatever you ask. My request is for the Bracer Guild to rescue those being held captive by the Intelligence Division. Amongst them is my granddaughter, Claudia. Ah, so the princess is being held captive somewhere. Yes, this coup d'etat started when I backed her as the successor to the throne. In other words, Duke Dunan was out of the running. Yes, though he is my nephew, he is possessed of considerable number of character flaws. Yes, in brief, where he is lacking, my granddaughter shines. For the sake of this nation's future, I would have my granddaughter succeed me. Well, I don't actually know her, but I personally lean towards the idea that your judgment should really be trusted here. No matter the era, there will always be those who object strongly to a woman wielding political power. Yeah, true. Like what we are right now in the real world. Not to mention, the memory of the invasion by a larger power is still relatively fresh. Some of them will perceive a succession of 2 consecutive queens to be a sign of weakness. It is hardly surprising that such a notion has taken root in the minds of some. Some, including Colonel Richard, I presume? Quite right. Claudia's pending succession to the throne caught him quite unawares. That, along with his passing of this information to the Duke, is what led to this coup. This was all staged so that Liberal would become a strong military power, with the colonel ruling from the shadows. I see. That finally lets us see the whole picture. So if Liberal became a militarized country, what would happen then? A great many things. Taxes would be levied to fill the war chests. Orbital weaponry would be developed with the express intent of causing havoc on a massive scale. A wide-ranging policy of conscription would be adopted. And no doubt contracting Jaeger Corps would be made legal, which is not the case at the present. Oh no. Indeed, the Colonel has made very adamant requests that I enact such policies. I thought that such proposals were born out of genuine love for his country, but I never agreed that they were the right course of action to take. The Royal Army is not all that protects this land. We have worked hard to maintain treaties with other countries. Defending a nation goes hand in hand with free cultural exchange and trade with all other nations to the benefit of all. I feel the same way, Your Majesty. Yeah, makes sense to me. The Colonel, however, finds such notions to be womanly and foolishly idealistic. Okay, you're fucking insane. And so he demanded that I abdicate the throne in exchange for Claudia's safe return. What? Many people have had family members taken to ensure that they would not dare to oppose the Colonel. But I am the Queen. But I will not allow all that I love about my country to be destroyed, simply because of blood ties. Still, she is my only granddaughter. I cannot simply allow her to die. Your Majesty, please try to relax. We hear and comply with your request. We will see to it that the princess is rescued from those who have imprisoned her. Thank you, both of you. With that reassurance, I will do all I can to oppose the Colonel's demands. Have you any other requests, Your Majesty? The gospel still has to be dealt with, and I don't think we should just leave you here. I appreciate your sentiment, Estelle, but the present state of affairs is not contingent upon freedom or imprisonment. The gospel shall continue to weigh in heavily on my mind, for a great many reasons. For my part, I will attempt to ascertain the Colonel's true intentions with it. Okay. God damn. Wow, what a totally awesome person. Super nice, but with a seriously strong will. I mean, when you're a queen, you probably lived through all the horrible things, right? Even the Queen Elizabeth, she lived through the World War II and all that nonsense. I hope I'm even 1/10 that cool when I get old. Cool. Did you actually just call the Queen that? Still, she definitely has what it takes to govern a whole country. Yeah, really, I really want to stop this coup thingy and help her. That's definitely outside of Bracer jurisdiction. But well, first things first, we do whatever we can. Right. But you know, I'm still freaking out about what the Queen told us about Dad. I wonder if she's got any more tidbits she'd be willing to share. Estelle and Joshua, have you finished changing? Oh yeah. Then we should return to the waiting room at once. It's actually after 11 o'clock. Actually, it's almost midnight. Wow, really? Is it really that late? The Queen spoke with us for a long time. If we stay any longer, it's apt to make the guards suspicious. Alright, I'm gonna end the part here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay tuned and stay safe. Later!